Welcome to the Friends of Zane Adams, aka FOZA podcast, bringing awareness of postpartum depression, suicides, and the children who are left behind. We'll be spotlighting positive outcomes from mothers as well as healthcare experts and counselors. Would you know the signs of PPD? Would you know how to help a loved one? Stay tuned. As a community, we can do more to support maternal mental wellness.
Greetings, everyone. This is Paulette Smith with Friends of Zane Adams, aka FOZA Inc. We are a 501c nonprofit dedicated to bringing awareness and resources to support sufferers of postpartum depression. We want to help prevent maternal suicides, and we want to support the children who are left behind. And we strive to stop the stigma, the silence, the suicides, and the suffering that often accompanies maternal mental health issues. Before I begin, I need to say a few words about triggers. This is a safe place. However, we may discuss topics that can be sensitive and may act as a trigger for some members of our audience. The content we discuss serves to provide information for educational and advocacy purposes only. If you're experiencing an emergency, call the National Crisis Hotline. That's 800-273-8255. If you cannot afford consultation, please visit FOZAinc.org and provide us with your contact information.
Greetings, FOZA fans. It is so good to be here with you. You know, we're sending you love and wishes for a Happy New Year, but here at FOZA, we know we're going to have a blessed new year because we're starting out with a speaker who's going to help us and help our postpartum moms and others too, who are facing challenges trying to be perfect with everything they do. And while we know deep inside that perfection is difficult to attain and it's not even necessary in a lot of cases, we still allow our expectations and the expectations of others to push us into places where it's not safe to go. So today's guest, Johnnie-Geathers, he understands what happens when we try to be perfect, especially during the postpartum stage in life. He has a master's degree in social work, and he's a licensed social worker and a mental health therapist with Family Links Human Services, that's organized human services based in West Virginia, and he's also a mental health therapist with Hand in Hand Counseling, LLC. And that's a wonderful organization as well. He hosts a YouTube channel entitled JG Mental Health Fridays. And that's a resource with different topics that affect individuals and allow them to have discussions coping with their feelings of mental health. He offers exercises for individuals to practice during their own time. Now, FOZA was drawn to Johnny for his advocacy for saving lives and overall mental wellness. So let me welcome him right now. Johnnie-Geathers, you are a hard-working individual. Thank you for taking the time to meet with FOZA's audience today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I do want to share one thing in terms of my roles as a therapist for both organizations. Actually, both of my organizations are in Pennsylvania. So for all my listeners that are out there, I'm actually in the Pittsburgh area. So Family Link, I actually been working with Family Links for over 4 years. Next year, this year actually in March, will make it 5 years that I've been with Family Link. And I started with hand-in-hand counseling in August of 2021. And that basically was a time for me to just expand and learn more about a private practice realm and continuing the things I love to do, which is helping others.
That is wonderful. And thank you for letting us know once again that you're based in Pennsylvania. We want the Pennsylvania audience to know they have a resource that's right there with them, but our entire audience all over the nation can reach you and see some of the great work that you do and the great information that you have to offer on your YouTube channel. So no matter where you are in the United States, you can get the information he provides on a weekly basis on his YouTube channel is just priceless. You know, Johnny, here at FOZA, we're not licensed professionals, but it's our mission to connect with professionals like yourself so that when our postpartum moms get low and we get into conversations with them and we hear that, they're feeling depressed, especially if they had a predisposition towards being perfect before they ever reached postpartum. We just know that they sound stressed, they seem full of anxiety, and I'm wondering if you find sometimes that new moms are actually harder on themselves.
Yes, I believe that new moms, find it harder on themselves because of what they actually see. And that's that whole mentality of the modeling behavior. Whatever we see that we like or whatever we see that catches our attention and catches our eye, we kind of want to idolize that. So for new moms that are seeing like friends, seeing family members, or seeing their own mother, how they, raise children, that kind of makes them question themselves, say, okay, am I going to be a good mom? All right, I already have this baby right now. Or am I going to be the best mom that I can be? Or I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But overall, what it's supposed to be with new moms, they're supposed to just embrace that time and just enjoy that transition. Because becoming a new mom is a milestone. It's a milestone and it's a blessing. Because there's a lot of women that out there that have challenges with even trying to become a mom. We already know that there's women out there that have difficulties with becoming a mom and going through the whole pregnancy phase and things like that. But for new moms that's out there, just use it as a time. Use that moment just to say, I brought a child into this world, and I'm going to enjoy the time of being a mom and enjoy this milestone. It is a milestone.
Absolutely. You hit on so many things there, because in our conversations with postpartum moms, we hear them make those statements, and they write in, and they talk about how overwhelmed they are and how is it that maybe a mom down the street is doing so much better. And they're constantly challenging themselves and questioning themselves. And even though they might have been recommended towards, therapy, they might have gone to their primary physician, and the primary medical care provider has recommended, they could see that they're getting a little bit anxious or they're getting stressed. They don't want it to go any further, so they're recommending therapy, but she hasn't reached out. So we know the action must be something that comes from the mom. She has to accept that she wants therapy. But if she's listening right now, what would you say to encourage her to take that step towards seeking therapy?
For a new mom that wants to seek therapy, I would just encourage her to say, just give it a try. Knowing that you gave it a try, that just let the mom know herself that she is taking a step further for herself, but also taking a step further for her child. So, there's preconceived notions about therapy and the whole, facade of what therapy is about. But therapy can be different. There's different forms of therapy that you can get. Now, with new moms that are seeking therapy, they can actually go to a therapist and just talk about their doubts, their questioning moments, their feelings of overwhelmness. And that's just a side of therapy where you're just verbalizing your feelings, you're verbalizing your thoughts. And that's a normal action that you can take in therapy. There's also a moment in therapy where you want to get psychoeducation on the aspects of becoming a new mom. What are the tips? What are the steps that you can take to get rid of the thoughts, to get rid of the anxiety, to get rid of the worries that you have on becoming a new mom, and taking in different strength-based tools that you can use to build up yourself as being, a new mother.
Wow. That's enlightening, because I'm listening to what you're saying about the different reasons that mom who might be listening right now, she might be just anxious about some preconceived notion that she has about therapy, that she has to go in and lay on the sofa and unburden her entire life, when actually all she has to do is get her questions answered to get her anxiety lowered.
Right. And that's the thing with therapy, because it's the first thing I learned in grad school when I was going for my master's degree in social work was that as professionals, we're just guiding them. The actual experts are the clients. The clients already know what they want. They know what their goals are and what they want to accomplish, but it's up to us to be able to just guide them and say, okay, you're making the right steps, you're doing the right thing. Or if they get stuck or they got a bump in the road, we give them different alternatives to look at it, say, okay, let's do it this way. Let's try it this way. Let me see if you can try it this way and see how far you can go along with it. And that creates that progress, and that gives the client the motivation to say, okay, I got this alternative from my therapist. Let me see if I can practice it and apply it within myself. If I can apply it within myself and see the progress that I made, that's just making an effort to say, okay, I'm still taking course. I'm still taking, the leadership realm within this therapeutic relationship.
Wow. I heard you say, in other words, and this is what I tell my moms all the time, that you're your own best advocate and you're in control. And sometimes that's all you need to have that confidence to go ahead and get the full benefit of your therapist and what they have to offer.
Right.
I was totally intrigued. I listened to your lesson. I listened to the advice that you had to give about being a perfectionist or sometimes people trying to be a perfectionist. And it wasn't necessarily pointed towards postpartum moms, but I think everybody has those feelings sometimes, and you admitted that you even have them yourself. But I was totally intrigued by your lesson and the way you encouraged individuals to use what you called the SMART, or S-M-A-R-T method, to not allow perfectionism to drive them into depression. Can you talk a little bit about the SMART system?
FOZA, aka Friends of Zane Adams, is dedicated to providing education, information, and resources to bring more awareness to maternal mental wellness, stop the suicides, and support the children who are left behind. Research shows 1 in 7 postpartum moms experience some form of depression that not only diminishes quality of life, but if left untreated, can lead to the 1 to 2% experiencing postpartum psychosis, which is an even more serious condition. To find out how you can help FOZA stop the stigma, the suicides, the silence, and the suffering caused by postpartum depression and related maternal mental health issues, please visit FOZAinc.org, FOZAinc.org today, or call 866-FOZA-INC. Remember, there's a role for everyone in the community who wants to help. Thank you.
I was totally intrigued by your lesson and the way you encouraged individuals to use what you called the SMART, or S-M-A-R-T method, to not allow perfectionism to drive them into depression. Can you talk a little bit about the SMART system?
So, SMART goals is an acronym. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And the reason why with the SMART mechanism, with our goals, we had to use that acronym because we got to be able to make sure that we are able to realize that the goals that we want to set for ourselves are doable. So, like, for us, with it being specific, we got to identify what is it that we really want to do. Like, for example, for new moms, if they want to be able to say, okay, I want to be able to change a child's diaper, that's a specific goal because that goal is what you want to accomplish is change a child's diaper. It's measurable. So make it measurable, seeing that can you measure your progress within this goal? So, like, for example, with the goal of having to change a child's diaper, let's say that you're going to measure it to say, okay, I'll be able to change a child's diaper once a day. That's a measurable goal because you're going to see if you was able to change a child's diaper at least once a day. To say, okay, Monday I was able to do it, Tuesday I wasn't able to do it, Wednesday I did it, Thursday I didn't do it, Friday I did it. You're measuring the days because you made a goal to say, okay, my goal was to change a diaper at least, one time a day. Attainable. Attainable is letting you know that, okay, am I able to make this goal? So basically what it means is that you don't want to set up goals within yourself that you know that you're not going to be able to master, you're not going to be able to conquer, you're not going to be able to finish out. So with it being attainable, and which the goal that we just talked about right here about being able to change a child's diaper at least once a day, that is a goal that's attainable because we already know that you will have to change your child's diaper at least once a day, because a child doesn't know how to, especially a newborn, they don't know how to use the bathroom properly. So that goal is attainable because you know right there that you have to change a child's diaper. Realistic is R. So realistic is letting you know that this goal has to be something that is real. Because there are moments where you create goals based on your mind, based on your thoughts, and it's like, okay, is this goal real or just a goal of your imagination? So with this goal of changing your diaper, this is a real goal because you have to actually put this in practice. You have to put it in application. And then lastly, it's timely. So timely, making sure that you're able to do this goal in a timely manner, in which the goal that we talked about, changing the diaper at least once a day, is a timely goal because you're monitoring your progress on changing that diaper for that child one time a day. And another thing I want to talk about with SMART goals, especially with postpartum depression, with new moms, or even moms in general that are going through postpartum depression, when you're making SMART goals within yourself, you got to realize that you have the control of those goals, and not external sources, not family members, not friends, not the community, not social media. Because whenever you make goals within yourself, you have control of your goals. That's why it's called SMART goals, because it's SMART because you are the one that's identifying what you want to accomplish. You are identifying how long that you want to work on this goal. You are identifying how you really want to make this goal attainable. You want to master it. You want to conquer it. You are identifying that this goal is realistic. You are identifying the time that you want to work on this goal. So you have charge. You have control of the goal that you want to master. And that's the aspect when it comes to perfectionism, because with perfectionism, we set ourselves at a high standard because we so much look into what we see. We look into others. We look into social media, which social media is a big thing, where we see some of our idols, we see our friends, we see our celebrities that are new moms and how they deal with things, and we kind of question ourselves because of that moment of saying that, okay, they doing this, they doing that, they doing this, but I'm not doing that. But that's not the case. With you setting a SMART goal within yourself, you had the charge, you had the competency, you had the ability to work on it because you had control over it and not no outside sources.
Wow, that is really something that I think moms should have heard, and they should listen, and I hope that they'll come back and listen to this again. And I'll tell you why, because much of the information I get, much of the communication I have, and many of the conversations I have are due to social media. And so it can be a good place to go. I always congratulate moms when they're feeling overwhelmed and they do reach out, and they're sounding like they're at the end of their patience and at the end of everything. I congratulate them on being brave enough to reach out, and at the same time, I try to encourage them to, as you say, be smart. Use their resources. Don't give up. Don't ever feel as if you're not enough, because you are enough. But sometimes you can feel like you're not enough because there's so much going on around you. I mean, all kinds of questions. I belong to several groups of thousands of women, and they come in, new ones, every 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, that's an in and out thing, because if we're fortunate enough, if we're blessed enough, we're not going to be in postpartum forever, even though some women are having difficulty with depression and some of the symptoms before pregnancy, and some will have the symptoms a long time after the baby's born. We want to just make sure that they don't slip into a deep depression or psychosis. But this information that you provided by just being specific and trying to measure what it is that you want to accomplish, and also making sure that you're setting some kind of goal that you feel is attainable for yourself, and not letting yourself be judged or not feeling judged or being guilty, that you want it to be realistic and that you want it to be timely, and that you have faith in yourself, that you know this is something that you're doing for yourself and your child, and not for like your mother-in-law or like the people that you think are smarter than you, that you are smart, you are smart on your own. And I think from many of the conversations I have with moms, I think that that's something that's deep inside of them. I'm not smart enough to do this, so I'm hoping that they will hold on to the SMART method and go to it and believe in it and use it along with communicating with their primary and get the kind of counseling and therapy that they might need. You know, we looked at so much of your material online, and you are so good and generous with what you offer people in trying to get them to full mental health. I'm just hoping that this isn't the only time that you will come and that you will be with us, that you'll consider coming back and giving us some more, because every one of your broadcasts, it's so definite, it's so precise, and you give a single beneficial, valuable lesson that a person can walk away with until this one is not going to be enough. And I'm hoping that you're going to come back and give us something else in the future.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely coming back.
Okay, then we're gonna be looking for that. I know time goes by so quickly, and we're coming to the end of our time here. We don't want to hold you up. We know how busy you are, but we want to tell our audience how they can get the value of what you have to offer. Every week you have your JG Mental Health Friday message that they can look forward to, and they can go in, they can learn from, and they can grow from. And all they have to do is go to YouTube and look for your name, Johnnie-Geathers, that's Geathers, or your title of your channel, JG Mental Health Fridays, and you come right up and you have dozens of resources there. And then once they get on your YouTube channel, then they can see all of the other ways they can reach you through your web, Instagram, Twitter, all your other accounts are there as well, right?
Yes.
So I just want to ask you, you encourage your audience to leave you comments and get back with you and ask you questions?
Yes. So normally when I do with my videos on JG Mental Health Fridays, at the end of the videos, I always ask if anyone has any words or topics that they want me to address, that they reach out to me on those platforms. With the platforms, people actually do reach out to me and say, well, Johnny, can you talk about this? And I do keep it anonymous, but I do give individuals a shout out. I say, well, shout out to this person that gave me this topic, and then I introduce the topic. And most people know what their topic is, because as soon as I introduce what the topic is, people will say, oh, they'll reach out to me and say, thank you for talking to me about this. I'm going to share it out to other people and, make it a big reach. And I can say with JG Mental Health Fridays, I did it as an outlet for myself. Well, I did it as an outlet for myself to still help others. When I started JG Mental Health Fridays, I started it in 2020, April 3rd of 2020. And that was, that was really, around the time that the start of the pandemic was going on. And plus around that time, I had just got furloughed from Family Link. And during that time when I had got furloughed from Family Link, that's when I was like, I still want to help people. I still want to help others, because I know right now during this pandemic, I know everyone is going through it, from kids to adults who are transitioning from being in an environment that we're so used to having to work from home, and then also dealing with trauma and all these different things that's going on. So then that's when God gave me the idea to say, okay, do JG Mental Friday. And I actually started it out by doing it on just Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, where I just posted videos on there. And once it started getting, I don't want to say getting popular, but more so getting a reach, and people are taking, consideration of watching the videos and learning about the different lessons I provide and stuff. And it landed me to say, okay, 2021, I'm going to just start this YouTube channel. And what the YouTube channel, it was just an expansion, so I could be able to spread out the wisdom and the information that I was sharing on social media, to spread it out on YouTube. So anytime I upload a video on YouTube every Friday, those videos that is uploaded on YouTube, it still gets shared out on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, and then also a snippet on Twitter, so people could know that the video's out there. And then if people don't really look into YouTube, they can still look at it on my social media platforms if they follow me.
Excellent. Excellent. And I could attest myself that once they get into it, they need to take some popcorn because they are definitely going to be there for a minute, and they're going to get value out of it. And I hope that my postpartum moms know that when you're speaking, that you are speaking to a broad audience. So the people in Pennsylvania are so blessed to have you, but all around the nation, people can reach you on so many platforms.
I could be honest too. There are some moments when I have my little moments when dealing with work and stuff. I was like, let me watch my video and see what I said about this.
That's good too, because you know the people are there with you, and like you said, you encourage them to stay there with you and give you ideas for what they really, really want. So, Johnny, I am just so happy to have had you, and my FOZA fans, I'm so glad that you were here, and those who are listening, those who will come in and listen on demand, you know that you'll be able to find this on demand, but we just want to make sure that we thank you for this episode. I want to thank you on behalf of all of our donors, sponsors, and supporters for tuning in, and special thanks to our podcast producers at Add Voices. I want everyone to visit Johnny on his YouTube channel at JG Mental Health Fridays to learn more about his advocacy for making mental health a part of overall health. And I hope you gained some knowledge that will encourage you to seek therapy. And if it's challenging to find a therapist, reach out to us at FOZA.org. If you're a family member or caregiver, I hope this information will serve as a positive resource. You know, FOZA is proud to help stop the stigma, the silence, and the suicides and suffering that often accompanies maternal mental health issues. So please visit our website, FOZAinc.org, for an on-demand version of this podcast, and consider this. Every donation goes towards bringing awareness for mental health for women. This is Paulette Smith signing off in loving memory of Christina LaShawn Thompson-Adams. Bye-bye now.